let me go to another bill. This is one that I've actually written. I've penned a couple of FOIs for a couple of people because there's a lot of torment, agony, suicides, lost properties, bankruptcies that come from this bill, or this proposed bill. Now, this bill here evidences that the Parliament do not have the power to write laws on certain matters of family law. And I would recommend anybody that is in the family court that is being raped and robbed by the lawyers and with the assistance of the judges and the justices in those courts. Sorry, just the judges. And go to Bill number 25, which is on page 1030. And you will see this one is a bill for an act to alter the Constitution to empower the Parliament to make laws with respect to certain matters of family law. So when you see the words to empower, okay, it means they haven't got a power,
exactly.
And they're asking for it.
Absolutely.
And this particular, I'm going to get into the details of this one. Those other acts, or the other proposed bills that I just read out before, they do get into detail, but I was just reading out the titles. But this one, I find it very troubling, some of the stories that I've heard about people in the general public losing their houses, losing their minds almost, and they become mental wrecks and shells of their former selves due to the tyranny that's being imposed on them by the family court.
Absolutely.
So let's have a look at this. The legislative power of the Parliament, okay, this is what it says in the bill. Number 2, the Constitution is altered by omitting paragraph 22 of section 51 and substituting the following paragraphs. Paragraph 22, divorce and matrimonial causes. 22A, property and financial rights between persons who are or were living together as if they were husband and wife. So there's a proposed law to write laws in regards to the financial rights of de facto relationships. And they have no power to write these laws and to take you to task in these courts.
Yep.
Now, there's another section I'll go on. Section 22B, in regards to the adoption, legitimacy, and the determination of parentage. 22C, the custody and guardianship of children and parental rights, but not so as to affect state protection of children. So do you hear what that says? There's only laws in the state in regards to the protection of children and guardianship and custody of children, not in the family court. They have no power to take your children and give them to another person. Okay? I know a lot of people they are going mental. They are suicidal.
Yeah, absolutely.
People have taken their lives over these sorts of things.
Definitely.
And these people, this fake government, have been lying to you, and all to take your money. It's just to take your money. But as we've heard before in the courts, don't take it personally. We're just doing commerce.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, the last one is the maintenance of children, 22D. There is no power to write laws for the maintenance of children, okay? You, okay, should be making private agreements between each other. They have no power. I know there's a lot of men out there who are suffering because they are being made and forced to pay exorbitant funds and amounts of money for their children. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be responsible and pay for their children. They should be responsible and pay for their children. But a lot of these figures that I've seen seem to be quite unfair, and they seem to destroy people's lives on a continual basis, year after year, where these people can't get up and even begin to buy another property or anything. They're basically on the poverty line, a lot of men, because of these laws. So if you go through the Constitutional Commission reports, the bills, okay, you will find that there is much remedy in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I recommend you look for the words where it empowers the Parliament within the bills to write the laws, because if you go and check the referendums, okay, since 1988, you only have to look up the AEC, the Australian Electoral Commission website, and there is a list of the referendums and their subject matter. And if you check from 1988, there's only half a dozen of them, I think. You will see whether the bill that you're reading about in those 43 bills in the Commission reports, whether that has actually been enacted or not, okay? And for example, there's the bill on the separation of powers in 1984, in trying to empower the Parliament to write laws for the separation of powers. And unfortunately, the referendum failed, but here we are today with those laws imposed on us. So, and the thing is, as Justice Latham said in the 1942 uniform tax case, there are pretended laws in this country, and it is your duty to ignore them. But I make recommendation that you write a Freedom of Information request to the appropriate department, because that act empowers you to scrutinise the government. It is your duty. And you will get a document in return, and you'll be able to use that in a court of law to show the judge, magistrate or justice that there is no power for what these lawyers, these high-priced lawyer dirtbags who are robbing the people of Australia and bankrupting them, do not have the power to do this to you. So make sure you have a look at those bills. You'll see things in there that will be affecting your particular situation, and you'll be able to apply them to your situation.